Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Unrooted Baseball Edition, and my guest for this week's show is none other than one of the senior outfielders on the baseball team here at Menlo College, Emilio Guerra. Emilio, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Thank you for having me, Brian. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Let's start by talking a little bit about yourself. You are a man of many interests, and one of those interests is like a white-hot burning passion for Will Ferrell movies or anything involving Will Ferrell. Why is he your favorite actor?
I would say he's my favorite actor just because growing up as a kid, my mom was real picky about what movies we'd watch. My dad, on the other hand, was not, and he's a huge advocate of Will Ferrell movies, and so any chance we had, Talladega Nights coming out, Blades of Glory, Step Brothers, those kind of movies, we'd be staying up late at night working on homework, and really we'd be watching those kind of Will Ferrell movies.
Yeah, just don't tell Mom about that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, hopefully she's not watching. Sorry, Mom.
You know she's watching this interview right now. So you have, let's say, a top 5. Can you name me a top 5 list of Will Ferrell movies?
Yeah. So I would go, top is going to be Step Brothers.
Okay.
Talladega Nights. Semi-Pro. Casa de Mi Padre. That's an interesting one if you haven't seen that one. And then let me see the 5th one. The 5th one, I don't know if I can really pull up a 5th one right now off the top of my head.
I would, now,
what would you say?
I haven't seen as many as you have, but Kicking and Screaming is good. There's also Elf.
There's that or Land of the Lost. Now that's another one that's been
true.
Kind of lost in the mix of Will Ferrell greats. But
that's true. See, and I understand why you have Step Brothers at the top of the list, because you recreated a scene with Andrew Merkin, who graduated on last year's team during Picture Day last year.
Correct.
How did that come about? Why was it Andrew that you chose to be in the picture? Tell me about it.
Certainly. So Andrew Merkin, he used to live with me last season, and we watched a ton of Step Brothers over and over again, and Talladega Nights, and constantly throughout the year what we would do is we'd quote movie quotes from it, Will Ferrell, and we'd try to see if he could recreate the moment. And so one of our favorite scenes, one of our favorite pictures is with Will Ferrell just sitting there and enjoying the it's the opener, it's the cover of the movie. I thought it was great, and we were sitting there, he's like, dude, you like my stepbrother? I was like, oh my God. Dude, we got to take this picture. And so that's how it sparked it. Yeah. And
this picture is easily one of my most favorite pictures we've ever had during a team photo day. I also want to ask, so Will Ferrell movies, okay. Have you ever seen the episodes of The Office where Will Ferrell sort of replaced Steve Carell for a few episodes?
Of course.
What did you think about those?
I thought it was great. I wish he would have stuck around a little longer, but the way he exited the series when he, sorry if you haven't seen it, when he dunked the basketball and lands on his head, I thought that was just comic, but I mean, that was great.
I honestly thought that his character was going to be better than it was.
Yeah.
I was fairly disappointed in how they portrayed him. He wasn't as funny as I was expecting, but you're right. I thought they were going to keep him on for the remainder of the show, but unfortunately they didn't. And
it's just a small cameo kind of thing. I was hoping for a little longer. Maybe a season with him. That'd have been great.
A season with him would have been absolutely fantastic, yes. Yeah. But instead they decided to basically kill him off the show or render him incapacitated, which is almost the exact same thing. This show will also serve as a platform to congratulate you for your new job off campus, or at least your part-time job. Why don't you tell us what makes this so unique? Because we were talking about it during the last baseball series against Westmont.
Right. So I just recently got my conditional offer with the City of Sunnyvale of Public Safety. What makes them interesting is I'm going to be going through police, fire, and EMT academy throughout the next year and a half or two. And they're the only city, I believe, in California that does that right now. They believe it's a handful throughout the country that actually cross-trains their officers to be able to be both a fireman, cop, and an EMT. So it's exciting. Yeah. I'm really excited for the opportunity. Feel extremely blessed. I'm still kind of in shock. It's just happening. So it's going to be gret.
Yeah, I'm happy for you, and I'm in shock too that that's something that can be allowed. How you can be a fireman, a police officer, and an EMT all rolled into one. I didn't know that was humanly possible.
Yeah, you're telling me. I'm going to be one of them.
If there's one person who can handle it, it's Emilio Guerra right here, the man who has seen Rob Dalnoki, the trainer, more times than just about anybody.
Yeah, no kidding.
We were also talking about that during the Westmont Baseball series, saying that we should get Rob on here to kind of act as the guest interviewee, or guest interviewer would probably be the better way to put it.
Yeah, with all the elbows and shoulders he's worked on, I can't see why not, right?
Rob, you could probably do a better job running this show than I could, but I guess I'll be a decent second since Rob is currently fulfilling his ATC duties. So, Emilio, let's get into a little bit about the team now. Last weekend, the Oaks took on the 5th-ranked team in the country, Westmont College, and played them to 4 extremely close ball games. Did that series show that Menlo really is ready to start impressing people as we go down the stretch here in conference play?
Yeah, I would say absolutely. I mean, it showed a lot of life in our dugout and on the field. It showed what our potential really is, what we really can do as a ball club if we really kind of link everything back together, right? We had the pitching, we had the running, we had the hitting, and it just seemed like everybody was really excited to play a number 5 ranked team. It's not every day you get to play a team of that caliber, right? And so we felt, very fortunate to prove ourselves. And although we didn't come away with the series win, I definitely thought we proved that we could hang with a team like that.
Absolutely, and the Oaks picked up a win on Saturday. It was particularly impressive in that it was the Oaks' first shutout in over 2 years. What can you say about the way that the pitchers really handled things this weekend?
Yeah, one thing that I noticed this weekend more so than any other weekend is every pitcher wanted the ball. They were itching, they were bugging to get the ball. They wanted to get in the game. They really wanted to really try to prove themselves. They wanted a part of the fun, and that's really what that was, is a lot of fun.
If you could describe the recent play of Dalton Maxwell at second base, how would you describe it?
It's funny you asked that because I actually heard Coach White say something, and it's like water. Very fluid, very smooth. It seems like he's effortless right now, which is the best Dalton I've ever seen, is effortless Dalton.
Yeah.
He just seems to kind of have a real grasp of what he has to do, but doesn't look like he has to force it. And he's a natural.
Yeah. Over the last 2 weeks, he has made 3 plays that will make appearances in the NAI top plays of the week. And it hasn't dropped yet this week, but I can tell you that the plays Dalton made this week are very high on the list of top plays in the NAIA.
Oh, wow.
I'm not going to spoil it,
okay.
So go ahead and check out the NAI Twitter's account. I think it'll probably be released tomorrow on Thursday, so I guess this interview will have already aired by then. But go ahead and check it out on the NAIA's Twitter page, the Top Plays of the Week edition, and look for Dalton Maxwell near the end of that video, somewhere near the top, because his plays were absolutely remarkable this past week. Now, the Oaks are on the road for the first time this season against a very good Hope International squad. First time you take them on. What do you know about the Royals, and what are you expecting against them this weekend?
Yeah, I know that they're a good unit. They know how to play as a team really well. They know how to pitch real well. And we've been kind of looking at their arms and getting mentally prepared for what kind of at-bats we have to, attack them with. And so that's what we've really been looking at. I know that, after a series like that with Westmont that we just had, a team like Hope, not to knock them, but I think we'll definitely be in much better shape than they will throughout the series. I think we could easily sneak, a series win by these guys and be on our way back home. Yeah,
you take a series win on the road against a team like Hope that's right now up near the top of the GSAC standings, and all of a sudden things start to shake up a little bit in the standings. Look out for the Oaks coming up from the bottom.
Absolutely.
And they'll be making their charge towards the top of the GSAC standings. All right, Emilio, let's get into the final segment of the show. It's called Brownie Bites. I'm going to ask you 3 off-the-wall questions. Give me your best answers.
Let's do it.
Question number 1, which teammate would make the best co-star in a Will Ferrell movie?
Oh, best co-star. I would go with Karsten Lee. Not many people know because he can be a pretty quiet guy on the field, but that guy is hilarious. Yeah.
So he would definitely bring the comedy alongside Will Ferrell.
Yeah, like if Will Ferrell were to make a baseball-related movie and his co-star was Karsten Lee, that would be number 1 charts kind of thing.
I mean, I could certainly see it happening. He did play every position during a spring training day a couple years back. Do you remember that?
Yeah, he fielded a bunt too, I think.
Fielded a bunt. I'm pretty sure he threw a pitch or 2.
Yeah, he was in there. I think my favorite part of that was when he was holding the signs like these games don't count. Stop trying so hard. I thought that was pretty good.
That was definitely funny. So hey, if Will Ferrell, if you're out there and you somehow stumble across this baseball movie, our boy Karsten Lee.
Yeah, we got a guy.
He's ready to shine beside you in the film. Question number 2, which teammate would make the best assistant to you on your job while you are a police officer, fireman, and EMT?
Ooh, best partner. I would go with Dylan Cole. Actually, as much as I actually, have the chance to actually work the job, that kid really is our cop on the team. It's great. Everybody needs a Dylan Cole on their team. He's really holds everybody accountable, but I think he would be perfect. He's got the look, the feel. If business doesn't work out for Dylan, I'm sure he'd do great.
Yeah,
law enforcement.
You have Wyatt Neby, the sheriff. You
Wyatt
have Dylan Cole, the cop.
Yeah.
And now you have Emilio Guerra, who does everything rolled into one.
Man of many tools. Yeah.
Yes. And then question number 3, which teammate is most likely to have a surgery named after them in the future?
Oh, jeez. Oh, I mean, that's a high honor. It really is.
Yes.
Not to pick on myself, but I would probably say me, considering all the surgeries that I've had done on my arm.
That is true. How many have you had on your arm, on your body, since you've been at Menlo? We'll limit you to Menlo. How many have you had?
I've had 3 different procedures done on my elbow. So I had ulnar nerve transposition, a PRP injection, and then I just had Tommy John last year.
Which is why Emilio was able to produce a few games for us and work on our game operations crew during the second semester.
Yeah, that was great. So much fun.
A completely different perspective of the baseball games.
I've never really watched games from that angle here. I mean, that was the first year. All the other times I'd be in the dugout still with them, but that was the first year that I actually got that bird's eye view kind of thing. That was great.
It's not a bad view.
No, can't be.
That's why broadcasting sports is one of the greatest things in the world.
I don't blame you.
Get that home plate view every single time.
Yeah, exactly.
Emilio, thanks for joining me on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.
You're welcome, folks. The baseball team, they're hitting the road this weekend down to Fullerton, a 4-game series against Hope International University. First pitch starting at 12 o'clock both days down in Fullerton. Go ahead and check out the portal page for Hope International for the live stream and the live stats. We invite you to tune into next week's episode of Unrooted Baseball Edition when Emilio Guerra will select the next interviewee by me, Brian Brownfield, right here on the show. Until then, we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?